Guys, let me tell you something, right? I wake up every day knowing that I have a dream that is much bigger than the current situation that I'm in, guys. Like, this is so stressing for me because I work a 9 to 5, right? And sometimes I have to decide whether I should invest in my, in my music, on a musical equipment, or maybe invest on my dream, you know, or should I pay some bills? You know what I mean? Like, like I know I have to pay some bills. I know I have to buy food, but these are the decisions that I have to make. To be honest, guys, like these are the type of decisions that I have to actually sit down and say, like, you know, let me not buy this, and let me not eat this month, and focus on investing in my music, right? And this is what I have to go through because I'm an independent artist, and I'm doing my own thing. You know what I mean? I'm all alone, right? And it's kind of difficult sometimes, and it's stressing sometimes, and that's just how it is. um it's like living two lives, right? Because I have to go to work, and then come back and be an artist. When I'm at work, I have to be at work and do what I do at work, right? And when I come back home, I have to be an artist, which is difficult. And I want to know this, guys. Have you ever felt like you have two lives? Like, you're two people, just like the way I feel. I don't know, like, if that's weird, because I really feel weird sometimes that, I have two lives. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be a certain person at work and also be a certain person as soon as I get home. Even like, when I'm around my friends or around people, I'm not, they know I'm an artist, right? The people who know me, they know that I'm an artist, they know that I make music and whatever, right? But I also have to, be a human, you know what I mean, and be a friend, and be like, you know what I mean, and be a brother, a son to somebody else, and you know what I mean. That's just how it is. You know what I mean. Um, I think, you know, as an artist, bro, like, I rather document, the raw thing, right? The journey, the real journey, right? Instead of just giving you you know polished material, right? Like what you see on social media, like maybe a final product, right? Like maybe the song, the after the song was made and mixed and mastered, and and it sounds good and whatever. I rather give you the process of the song, right, than to give you the final product of the song. I rather give you the process of the song, right? And I rather take you behind the scene when I'm shooting a music video than to actually just give you the the final product, right? You know why I'm doing that? Because I feel like, you know that's what stops growth, right? Trying to give people the final product, it stops growth because it takes too much of your time, trying to perfect something like maybe a song, or try to shoot a music video, the editing and all that stuff. It takes too much time, right? By the time you put it out, like, you don't even know if people are going to like it. And most likely is people might not even notice it, you know what I mean? Because they don't know you, you know what I mean? Because you're not a celebrity, you're not famous, right? So I'd rather give you the final product. Just like yesterday, right? I'm sorry, I'd rather give you the I'd rather give you the process, behind the scenes and everything. So yesterday I went live, and it was messy, guys. It was really messy, right? My internet was acting up on me, you know what I mean? And I went on live, and I was making a song live, showing people, the process of me making a song and whatever. But the internet disappointed me, my Wi-Fi and everything. It was so messy. But I don't really care, bro, if it didn't come out perfect. What matters is I showed up. That's what matters, bro. I showed up yesterday. And if I can show up today, that means I can show up tomorrow. And if I show up today, uh, and I feel good about showing up today, that means even tomorrow I'm gonna feel good about showing up tomorrow, right? I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's one thing that makes me feel better about myself. You know what I mean? Just showing up, instead of not um showing up and saying, the internet was not working, instead of making excuses. I say the internet was not working, nobody was watching and whatever, right? But, as an artist, bro, like I survived, to be honest. Like the honest truth is I survive, you know what I mean? I don't have a perfect life. I don't have much, but this is all I got. Like music is all I got. Being an artist is all I got. You know what I mean? This is something that I can always fall back on and say I'm something. You know what I mean? And in real life, I survive, right? Like um I earn minimum wage, you know, and I live by myself, I pay my own bills, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? And um yeah, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Like I'm struggling in real life. I'm surviving. Like I'm surviving every day. And that's all I need to do. That's all I need to do, bro. Even yesterday, the song that I made was um it was all about surviving. It was all about surviving. You know what I mean? It was all about my survival, me just having a 9 to 5, having a tight budget, and being able to, have a smile on my face. Even though, like, I cannot say I'm the happiest person in the world, but to be honest, is I don't have a problem with me surviving. You understand? Because as long as I can show up at work and I can show up for my music and I can show up for my family, I can show up for the people in my life that, need me, that I'm supposed to support and whoever, right? I'm okay, bro. I'm okay. Like, um, you know, it is what it is. I'll keep on surviving. You understand? I'll keep on surviving so that, I can show up for, for these people in my life that I love, and my music, and at work as well. You know what I mean? Because they pay me to show up every day, right, and do what I'm supposed to be doing at work, right? And it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm a survivor. The name of the song that I made yesterday, it was about surviving. It was about survival. You know what I mean? And it shows that all I do is survive. And I'm gonna keep surviving, bro. Like nothing is gonna stop me. You understand? I don't think, at this point, because, like we'll talk about this some other time. But this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of a new journey for me, right? But I'll tell you my story some other time, not now, right? Um, Thank you very much for watching. My name is RJ Godfella, and this is the RJ Godfella channel. Just make sure that you subscribe, like the video, hit the like button, leave the comment down below, and tell me, guys, like, have you ever felt like you have two lives? Because that's how I feel, guys. I feel like I have two lives, like being an artist and, just, I just feel like that. Anyway, peace. I'm out.